Coming up on this month's City Scene, we'll learn a creative way that Sioux Falls Police Department's SWAT team is using donated buildings throughout the city. As well, we get to learn about the city's fire rescue hazmat teams and how a recent event put their skills to the test. And finally, we get to look forward to an update on what to expect from Sculpture Walk 2018. Hi everybody, I'm Michelle Wellman and welcome to June's City Scene. Up first, we're going to learn how the police department uses donated buildings for a unique way to train our city's SWAT team.
Lieutenant Jeff Garden, SWAT Commander and Support Services Commander for the Sioux Falls Police Department. Today we're doing some advanced explosive breaching training within the neighborhoods of Sioux Falls. We're utilizing explosives on exterior walls and roofs to make entries into various structures. We're working with other agencies within the state as well, Rapid City Police Department, Pennington County, Sheriff's Office, Minnehaha County Sheriff's Office. We are the 3 SWAT teams within the state that have this explosive breaching capability. We've got a guest instructor in to go over some tactics with us, and then we're collaborating on our efforts, our knowledge, and our experiences, and then putting some of that to task through the week. It's very intense, it's very knowledge-based, it's very math-heavy. For all of this training that we do, we're collecting data on every detonation that we do, what it does to the structure, how loud it is, what the PSI overpressure is, how far there might, if fragmentation might be, things like that. By the time we're done with all this, our current breachers and our new breachers that we introduce are able to tell us what the hole's going to look like after the detonation, what the door's going to look like, if it's going to be laying down or if it's just going to be open, any possible surrounding damage, broken windows, anything like that. So it's very data-driven and very knowledge-based. It's really one of the most important things. You can't really do this kind of training in a range environment. You have to do it in an actual neighborhood, actual building, actual business. And it's the most important thing for this program because you can't always, on a range, you can't experience slipping on broken glass, a stud that maybe didn't get taken out all the way, or something of that nature, or what the damage in buildings around you will do. So that's why it's so important to be in an actual neighborhood and do those kind of things. We got this house through Sanford Property Management. We get it through there. We get some houses and some buildings through the city as well. And then there's other developers that will call us when they're about to demolish a building, and it let us utilize that as well. The importance of it, I cannot state how important it is to get in an actual neighborhood and actually do these kind of things. I appreciate their patience and their understanding because it is loud and it does disturb their normal day-to-day. I mean, obviously we leave a large footprint when we're out here training, and they're very kind, and we appreciate their patience and their understanding on our training.
Up next, we're going to learn how an unfortunate event put our Sioux Falls hazmat team to the test.
Hi, this is Division Chief Steve Fessler with Sioux Falls Fire Rescue, and today I'm talking with Battalion Chief Brunette, and the area we want to talk a little bit about is hazmat. Let's first of all give us a little indication what hazmat is.
Well, hazmat is a substance that generally would do us harm. It's a substance that we don't want on us, we don't want it in our environment, and we want it to stay in its container where it's safe.
So a hazardous material of some sort, correct?
Correct.
Okay. With the recent fire at the AOX welding supply, that was a lot of compressed gases, which we consider a hazardous material type incident. There's a lot of different things that we look at when we're dealing with hazmat. Can you explain some of those?
Well, there's 9 hazard classes, and everything belongs in a container. When it's in its specific container, it's safe. When it's out of its container, it has the greatest potential to do us harm. There's liquids, vapors, and there's solids. Solids, for the most part, don't do us the greatest amount of harm because they're contained to one area. Liquids generally evaporate and they turn into a vapor. They can cause more harm to us faster. Solids, we typically try and stay within 75 feet. Liquid, we try and cordon off initially 150 feet. Once they hit a vapor stage, they move around rapidly and readily, and we don't know exactly where they're going to go.
And with that vapor stage, that's where we start to look, like in that situation with the evacuation, that's when we start to look at those areas of how far we need to evacuate people. How did we do that?
Correct. We have plume modeling software with the Hazmat team, and that modeling software will allow us to pre-plot evacuation distances depending on the chemical. So once it escapes its container, we can take that chemical, plot it into the software, and it'll tell us, say, for example, we have 15 city blocks and we need to evacuate 1.5 miles. It'll also give us, according to the census data, how many people are in those 15 city blocks.
So it gets pretty in-depth when you start looking at that, and there's other types of technology that we use for detection systems and such, right?
Correct. We have numerous different types of technology for detecting known chemicals as far as their acidities and bases, and unknown chemicals as far as vapors, liquids, and solids. And we even have the ability to seek chemicals and identify them through containers and colored papers and bags.
So how would we typically get dispatched for a hazardous materials incident?
Most often we get dispatched right through 911. Occasionally we have the information coming in where it's a known chemical. Most often it's a powder or a liquid laying in the street and we have no idea what it is, and we use that detection capabilities we have to identify what that chemical is, or place it in an EPA hazard class at the very least. We do have a hazardous materials hotline, and we do get calls from all over the state of South Dakota.
Okay. So within Sioux Falls Fire Rescue, about how many individuals do we have that are trained in hazardous materials?
All Sioux Falls Fire Rescue personnel are trained to the operations level, which is a step above the awareness level. We have approximately 80 technicians on the department. We have a couple dozen specialists, and those are our highest trained personnel in the department.
So the specialists, they really get into it and dig deep into this.
They dig
into
deep.
The knowledge.
They dig deep into the knowledge, and they require a lot of annual certification hours. A lot of our really good specialists are hitting between that 200, 250 hour a year recertification.
And you're starting
hours.
to deal with the chemistry part of things.
It's getting deep into the chemistry.
Okay. Well, anything else that you can think of how we would deal with the hazardous materials incident, either fire or water or anything like that, of just ways that we deal with them?
Well, every hazardous material comes in different shipping containers in different transportation modes. So we have rail, we have highway, UPS, FedEx, and each transportation mode has a different separate hazards. So every time we respond to a hazardous materials in Sioux Falls, it's going to be brand new. It's going to be something that we haven't done before, seen before.
Each time is different.
Every time is different.
Well, thanks, Battalion Chief Brunette. If you'd like to learn more about Sioux Falls Fire Rescue, go to siouxfalls.org/fire.
Coming up next is Shannon Austin giving us an update on road construction on the east side.
Hi again, Sioux Falls. Shannon Austin here to give you your latest street construction update. We are out on the east side of the city on Arrowhead Parkway. We welcome to the show Josh. Welcome, Josh.
Morning.
We are here on Arrowhead from Sycamore out to about Highline Avenue, which is definitely impacting our east siders. What is the contractor working on right now?
Well, right now they're rebuilding where we took off back in 2014, just a little bit to the east of Sycamore and 10th Street there, and they're working their way west, just like you said, to, we finished Highline last year, and now we're going to about halfway between Gordon and Highline where we left off last year.
So we bid the project last year, and so is this project going to be done in 2018?
The hard surfacing should be complete by the end of this year. There will be some median work to do next year, but it should be pretty minimal.
Okay, so how much of the concrete is actually new out here right now?
I would say they're about 30% done with the actual new concrete, and I would say next month they should be getting the vast majority of the first phase, which is about 2/3 of the remaining concrete.
Okay, so how about underground utilities? Do we have a lot of underground utilities?
There is. We're redoing all the water main, all the storm sewer. We're not doing anything with the sanitary, but we are upgrading all the lights to LED, so there's new conduit and additional private utility work that's going on.
And do we have new traffic signals going on?
Yes, we do. They're being put up as we speak.
Very good.
They won't be operational until the end of the project, just how we're phasing there. We're having to be traffic on one side, so.
Okay. And then I get asked a lot, why aren't we doing the intersection of Veterans Parkway and Arrowhead Parkway?
Well, we just don't have the space right now.
Okay.
We don't have the space to build it as it's currently configured, so it just requires a little bit more work on our end there to make sure we have enough space for the the turn lanes.
So the pavement that's going down there is temporary?
It's a temporary.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe in the next 5 to 7 years, maybe hopefully we'll come back and redo that project.
That would be the goal.
Okay. So the contractor is a local contractor, is that right?
Yep, they're T&R out of Sioux Falls.
Very good. And what can our drivers expect to see for the remaining of the summer?
The remaining of the summer, I would say next month we should be getting the vast majority of the concrete down, so that will greatly help with traffic. Right now we're only got one lane head to head. As soon as we can get that first phase done, get the concrete in there, we'll have quite a bit more lanes, so we should be able to get traffic flowing through here quite a bit better. And then after that, it's pretty simple because most of the utility works in this phase.
And remind me again, how many lanes are we going to have from Sycamore to Highline?
We'll have 6. We'll have 3 each direction.
Okay, so that is quite a bit more than what we have today. Excellent. So how have the businesses been? Are they active in your weekly construction meetings?
They're greatly impacted. We get that. They've been very patient with us thus far, and if they can give us a little bit more time, we can. Every day they're patient with us. They gives us another day that we can get closer to achieving the end goal.
All right. Well, we have newsletters and biweekly updates on our website, right?
We do.
Okay, and we also send those out to the adjacent property owners. We want to make sure for those citizens to stay involved. Please go to siouxfalls.org. And street construction is on the main page, so you just got to click on that street construction emblem and you can get your updates on all of our city projects. Thanks so much for your time today, Josh.
Thank you.
30 seconds. It's the amount of time this public service announcement will last, and it's the amount of time on your commute that you may be slowed down in a cone zone. These city employees are working hard, and all they ask in return are 2 simple things.
Number 1, stay alert.
Number 2, slow down.
They all want to get home to their families too, and your patience is greatly appreciated. When you see amber flashing lights or orange traffic cones, stay alert and slow down.
I'm a company president working downtown.
I'm a college student.
I'm a full-time employee.
I'm a husband and a father.
I'm a son and a brother.
I'm a wife and a mother.
And I ride a bicycle as well.
And I'm a bike commuter.
And I'm a cyclist.
And I'll look out for you, you look out for me.
Welcome back, everybody. Up next, Jackie Nelson features the latest 80 and 18 parks.
80 and 18 is a challenge for residents and visitors of Sioux Falls to visit all 80 parks in 2018. What we would like you to do is visit the parks, and next to a landmark within the park, such as the playground off to the side of me, take a selfie, and then with that selfie, post it on Facebook or Twitter, or you can actually take an actual photo and drop it off at the park office. So the featured parks for June are Bryant, Burnside, Dunham, Elmwood, Legacy, McCart, Paisley, and Veterans Memorial. And next I'd like to introduce Scott Timmer, District Park Supervisor, who is here to talk to us a little bit more about Paisley Park.
Welcome to Paisley Park. This park was given to us by the Max and Helen Paisley family, and one of the things that they wanted to make sure that was kept intact was the nature area of the park. And so half of the park is a nature area. The rest of the park, we have 7 ball fields, and we have a playground, we have a picnic shelter, we have drinking fountains, and we also have a bike trail station here at the park, and direct access to one of the most popular sections of the bike trail. Obviously, we have Little League baseball games going on through the Sioux Empire Baseball Association every night of the week during the summer months, and so the park is very active that way. It's a very popular picnic destination. It's also a very popular special event destination because of the larger parking lot and access to the bike trail, direct access to the bike trail. And as I mentioned before, obviously this section of bike trail is one of the most popular sections of the bike trail along the River Greenway system.
Thanks, Scott. And as a reminder, by submitting your photos via Facebook, Twitter, or at the Sioux Falls Parks office, you are eligible for monthly and even a yearly prize. Monthly prizes include Midco Aquatic Center passes, Butterfly House passes, zoo passes, golf packages, and many, many other things. So get your pictures submitted, and for more information, you can find it at siouxfalls.org/parks or via Facebook or Twitter.
Thanks, Jackie. You know, While you're out in the park in the summer heat, there are some really important things that you consider about food safety when you're having your summer picnic.
Hi, welcome to City Scene. I'm Mary Michaels with Live Well Sioux Falls, and this is Alyssa Gailey, and we're here to talk a little bit about summertime and summer safety. Now that the sun's finally out and people are getting outdoors, there's a number of things that we want to make sure people know about when you're having picnics or family reunions, backyard barbecues, and one of those really important things is food safety. And so grilling out is one of the favorite summer pastimes, and so we want to talk a little bit about safe food temperatures. So when you're cooking meats of any style, you want to make sure that you're getting to a safe internal temperature. Is that right, Alyssa?
Right. So when you're cooking something like burgers, you want to make sure that your temperature is about 160. And you can do that by putting your thermometer right into the middle of that burger or that piece of meat. And then you want to always check and see what the temperature is for other meats like chicken, fish, because they all have a different temperature that they need to be at to be safe.
And these are really easy to find, a simple meat thermometer, a digital one, which makes it even easier to see where you're at with your temperature, and to really pay attention to that chart with all of the different types of meat to make sure that you're cooking your food properly.
Right.
So let's head inside and we're going to talk about a few other summer safety tips that people need to know. Okay, so now that we've got our burgers cooked, let's talk a little bit more about what goes with those burgers when we're eating. And of course, we're inside now, but when it's nice outside, we want to be outside having that picnic, eating out on the deck. So what do people need to remember when they have food outdoors?
The biggest thing to remember is to keep hot foods hot and cold foods cold. And so if you're cooking or grilling a lot of meat, make sure that you're keeping it in the refrigerator until you're bringing it out. Or, putting some salad on a ice bath or with a ice pack to keep that cold. And then when you're keeping things warm, make sure that you're temping it and making sure that it is at the right temperature before you eat it.
So how long can we leave things out? So if we're setting out sides or toppings for our burgers or other types of side dishes, if they're not on ice, or what's kind of the general rule for having foods out?
So the general rule is to keep foods out no longer than 2 hours. If it's really hot outside, we want to make sure that no longer than 1 hour, just so that we know that those foods are safe to eat.
So probably, if things have been out longer than that, you want to make sure you dispose of them rather than taking them home for leftovers. But if you've kept things cold and refrigerated and transporting them in the cooler, if you get them right into the refrigerator right away, they would still be safe to eat.
Definitely.
So great to have all this opportunity to be outdoors, but there's a few other things that we need to remember besides food when it comes to being outside in the sun. What were some of your sun safety tips, Bea?
So we want to make sure that we're protecting our skin wearing a sunscreen that is broad spectrum and SPF 30 at least. And then wearing things like sunglasses and hats to keep our eyes safe in the sun.
Really good tips. And then also remember to stay hydrated, drinking plenty of water, making sure our pets stay hydrated with cool water, not leaving kids and pets in warm cars. That's a really dangerous thing. And another thing about being outdoors, obviously, is we get some bugs. So thinking about mosquitoes, using bug spray, protecting your arms, your legs with sleeves and long pants if you're out when mosquitoes are out. And all of these tips are available on our website, livewellsiouxfalls.org. So go there, find all the ways that you can make this the best, safest, and happiest summer ever.
Did you know that this year marks the 15th anniversary of Sculpture Walk? Up next is Jim Clark giving us an update of everything we can expect.
I'd like to welcome you to Sculpture Walk 2018, our 15th year. This year we have 57 sculptures throughout downtown. We've had wonderful sculptures through the years, but as a group, this is the best ever. Sculptors from all over the country, 3 from Canada. We have a lot of big sculptures this year, and the variety from sculpture to sculpture is really wonderful. When we started working on Sculpture Walk in 2003, I knew 2 things. Number one, it would help to beautify the historic downtown, and then also that it would help to spark the economy downtown and throughout the city, just because it would become a destination point, and that's exactly what has happened over the years. We get people completing the ballots on the People's Choice sculptures from just about every state in the country, and from many countries as well. So it is a destination point. When people come to Sioux Falls, they obviously go down to the falls, they come to Sculpture Walk, and then they do other fun things around the city. But in order for Sioux Falls to become a real tourist town. We need to have more destination points. We invite everyone to come downtown and enjoy the sculptures. There's sculptures for everyone. There's figurative, there's abstract, there's large sculptures, there's small sculptures. We have a lot of sculptures for kids. And over the years, I've seen sweethearts doing sculpture walk, I've seen families doing sculpture walk, I've seen several generations doing sculpture walk, I've seen people from other countries doing sculpture walk. You just got to come down and see all 57 of these sculptures. They're all fantastic. This is the year to do it. Come on down.
As always, thank you for joining me for June's City Scene. If you're looking for some more information or you just want to watch it again, go to our YouTube channel or visit siouxfalls.org. Thanks. Bye-bye.